In court, police insisted that Kenny had died in a car accident after escaping from prison. Drew knew they had come prepared, so he questioned the officer who had been on duty that night. According to police testimony, Kenny and two others had escaped at 9:50 p.m., and the duty officer claimed he had called the inspector to report it at 10:10 p.m. But Drew produced the police communication records, which showed that the call to the inspector had actually been made at 9:10 p.m., and no other calls were made until daybreak. This completely contradicted the officer's statement. It was clear they were lying. Faced with hard evidence, the district attorney realized that stalling would only create more problems, so he offered to settle the case out of court. But Drew refused. The case quickly gained public attention, with working-class citizens rallying to protest police brutality. Around this time, Chandra uncovered a clue that could implicate the inspector. The inspector had previously claimed that, under pressure to close the case, he had impersonated Kenny's brother to call the owner of a rice mill. But the mill owner had known Kenny's brother for 10 years. There was no way he wouldn't recognize his voice. Combining this with the testimony of the phone booth owner, Chandra concluded that Kenny's brother had been coerced into making that call, and that he and Kenny's nephew were likely still alive. Expanding the search, they finally found Kenny's brother and nephew in a prison outside the city. In court, the man testified about the police brutality he had witnessed. He had seen Kenny beaten to the brink of death, with the inspector delivering the most vicious blows. Kenny's death was caused by a fatal strike to the chest. His rib pierced his heart. According to the man, his brother had also been knocked unconscious. The officers, realizing what had happened, tried to cover it up. They rubbed chili powder into the unconscious man's eyes to revive him from the pain, then locked the two of them away separately. But this alone didn't prove Kenny had died in police custody, until the forensic doctor gave key testimony. During the autopsy, he had found large amounts of chili powder in Kenny's eyes. There was no way a living person could endure such intense pain and then run a long distance. This meant Kenny had already been dead before the chili powder was applied. A police officer then took the stand, revealing that after investigating over the past few days, he had identified the real culprit behind the jewelry theft, and it wasn't Kenny. In fact, the inspector had caught the thief from the very start, but had taken a bribe to pin the crime on Kenny instead. With irrefutable evidence, the truth finally came out, and the three abusive officers were brought to justice. Kenny's brother and nephew were awarded 200,000 rupees each in compensation, while his family received 300,000 rupees and a new brick house.